What's up guys, Jeebs here, back with another video. Lots of new things tonight. First of all, the channel name has changed to Jeebs. Round of applause for that one. Drop a like for the new name, even if you don't like it. Second off, got a new camera right here. I got the FDR-X3000. Just noticed there's a little bunny right there. Hi bunny. But we're going to be going over the build quality of the Focus ST tonight. I'm really excited for the changes that I've made. Been needing to change the channel name for a while. Finally got a really nice camera here that is going to up the video quality. Apparently the stabilization on these things is incredible, so maybe we'll test that a little later in the video. Maybe I'll just run around in circles and we'll see how that is. Focus ST is looking good tonight. But yeah, so let's talk about something that comes up in my comments a lot. And well, not a lot, but it has come up a few times, and I think there's reason for me to address this, and that is the build quality on the Focus ST. Ford in general seems to have a bad rap for build quality on some of their cars. I think that has to do with cars of the past. I'm not a Ford historian. This is my first Ford, so I can't explain why. Maybe one of you can better than me. I'm not going to lie to you. So just put it in the comments below as to why they have a bad rap. And I know there's been a history with their engines failing, maybe some interior quality, things like that. But I wanted to go over specifically on the Focus ST, because that's what I have experience with now, a little over 30,000 miles on the car, and it's been excellent. There's been no major failures. But I also broke down on this tablet right here the positives and negatives of the build quality with the Focus ST. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start off with the negatives because we can end off with a positive note. It's Friday. We want to be positive, you know. The paint on the Focus ST is very thin and brittle. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the car's a little dusty here, but take a look at all of these chips that I have in the front of the car. And also, if you go up here, you can see one there, two there. The paint is brittle. Now, I am also in Phoenix, Arizona, where you can literally find your living room set on a daily basis on the 202, 101, and now they're developing the 303, which might as well be sponsored by Ashley Furniture, because there are couches. I saw a mattress today, worker's helmet. It's insane. My point is, these little stones that you see right here, these end up all over the interstate. They kick up, they break, they go all over the cars. There's cement trucks. I don't know why it's so bad here, but it is. I do a lot of highway driving and the front of my car is destroyed. So I should have gotten a clear prop, but it's still, the paint is so thin on this car. There's even one right here in the middle of the driver's side passenger door. The paint's thin, and again, this isn't a BMW or a Mercedes, so it's a lower cost car, but still putting how much cost is that adding? Probably a lot. They're probably saving a ton by putting a thin layer of paint on these things. But it's something that they can improve on. Now, another thing, in reference to build quality on the Focus ST is, let's look right back here. If you look on the back of my paint here, and I don't have the paint totally clean, but you may be able to see that there is it's almost like they didn't quite spray it enough right here, just beyond my fingertip nail. And I've never seen that on a car. I've never seen a brand new car that has almost like the sprayer just missed that area. I don't know if you guys have that issue. Take a look at the back of your STs, RSs, Fiestas, see if you have something like that. It kind of bothers me. It's not noticeable. You have to really look at it. But it just seems like there's not as much paint right there. So maybe it'll be a quality issue. Another quality issue that we can take a look at is this gap that you see right there. Oh, I just noticed there's a red, what the hell is that reflector for? You can see that gap right there in the door, and it's just kind of wide and unnecessary. And I also feel like if you close that up and sealed it a little bit, it would make the cabin noise even better. One of the positives of the car is definitely the cabin noise, and we'll talk about that later. But just gaps like that. People like to talk about panel gaps and things like that. On this car, I mean, what do you want it to be? Fit flush like a Pagani? I mean, it's fine. This right here, I think, is a bad bad engineering. It's just not, why is this rubber part, you know, so indented down into there? So there's little things like that. They're not huge issues, but if I'm to be picky and you're driving this car every day, you notice it. Now, probably my biggest complaint about the car, and luckily it's not a driver feature, it's the sound system. I have an ST3, meaning this car is fully loaded. The only options that I don't have on it are the upgraded wheels, which I don't like anyways. I don't have the red brake calipers, and I don't have stripes on the car. Stripes, unfortunately, I don't have those. Those add, if you have stripes on the car, that means you have all-wheel drive and close to 600 horsepower, which is impressive. The sound system in the car, for me having a fully loaded car, you would think it'd be great. But what a lot of people have pointed out is the speakers in this thing are just pieces of just paper. They're not even like well built. So you do get this sub here. It's probably about an 8-inch sub, which is nice. Well, it's okay. It takes up trunk space. I don't know how nice you'll think that is. But it is a nice feature to have, and it improves the sound quality. I had a Civic Si before this. I had a 2011 8th Gen Coupe. Well, it would be a 6th Gen SI, but an 8th Gen Civic body style. And that car's sound system was one of my favorite things about it. It had a sub in the back, it had like 8 speakers. It just sounded great, and it wasn't branded Sony like this is. It just said premium sound system, and it was very good. So coming from that to this, I would say this is a step down from that. If you want to head over to the positives, let's talk about the positives, because this is a good transition. And that would be the infotainment system and the 8-inch touchscreen in the front of the car. If you haven't seen it, I do a walkthrough on this, but it's just a beautiful display. It's 8 inches, maybe 8.8 inches. Fits really nicely in here, sits back. It has this hood to kind of protect it, but it's very good. You can drive cars 3 times the cost of this ST, and they usually don't have as nice of a system as this thing has. If you're on a map and you need to zoom in on something, you just do this. It's very intuitive. You pinch, you do all that stuff that you do on your smartphone. And I just think that's so smart of Ford. Also, Sync 3, which the 16s, 17s, and 18s have, is in this car. And that just gives it just takes it up a whole nother level of quality. I like how it sits in there. The screen's nice to use. It's big enough that it's actually functional to be able to use things like navigation when you're driving. You don't want to be spending time looking at the screen. You want to be able to just glance at it, get your information, and keep your eyes on the road. That in this car is one of the best features. And again, I'm not talking about driving stuff. I've talked about that in several other videos, but as far as features and comforts, that screen is amazing. The whole infotainment system is great. I just wish the speakers that the sound came out of was a little bit better. Another positive is the Recaro seats that I have. Now, 30,000 miles, I drive this car every day. I've taken it on road trips, so I have some good experience with these things. They're excellent. I think, if anything, they're a little tight, but I'll take that, because the way these hold you in when you're taking turns and driving aggressively, it's so good. Also, the durability of them seems to be pretty good. So let's take a look here. I mean, you can see that there's no rips or tears or anything. I do take care of this car a ton. I've seen STs that have the seats, they're very worn and kind of like shiny just from not cleaning them. And that kind of goes with anything that you do on a car. You need to take care of it at the end of the day. But the seats are definitely a positive. To have a heavily bolstered bucket seat like that, it's always a conversation starter when someone gets in your car, and it just adds to how special the ST is. Now, one of the final positives I have on this car is the engine. It's a 2-liter GTDI turbo engine, and what that stands for, I looked that up because I always see GTDI. I'm like, what does that stand for? I looked it up last night. It's gas turbocharged direct injection. A lot of the issues you hear about with this car has to come from poor tuning, in my opinion, or just tuning your car in general. This engine it's a proven engine. I recently put a tune on the car. I went ahead and got the Ford Performance calibration for the Focus ST. I was able to put that on and maintain my warranty. A lot of you were saying, hey, don't you need to take that to a dealership to maintain your warranty? You are correct, but I contacted Ford before that, and because I made the video promoting their product, I was able to maintain my warranty, and I have that in writing from them. So that was very nice of Ford Performance. Thank you, Ford. I think a lot of it has to do with improper tuning of the car. And you know, there's a lot of buddy Bradley just sent me. He had his ST at the dealership. They tore the block down, and there was basically carbon buildup within all over his sensors. I would have to look up exactly what he was telling me. Let me just look that up. So as you can see here, it says dealership couldn't find anything wrong with the car, so he's going to be doing some walnut blasting on the valves today. So he said he's better off working on his own car anyways, and he is good at working on his car, so I don't blame him. So he said he cleared his light with his access port, and hopefully once he's done with that, but he said it was loaded with carbon, caked, as you can see here by this piece of cake that he found in his engine bay. There's my beautiful length. That's my response to that. That's what I know. So he said the car runs awesome and he got it all fixed up. But basically he said there's, on the 15 to 18 models, there's been a lot of issues like that. But again, he doesn't have a stock car, and I'm not saying that he tuned his car improperly or anything like that, but because of tuning your car, it leads to more issues. And that's why a long time ago I put the video up, don't tune your Focus ST, and here we are with the tune and everything else you could want to put on it. I'm just saying it's a good car out of the box, and it's a reliable car out of the box, and for that reason, I think the build quality is pretty good on the car. Yeah, so the battery died on my brand new camera because I pulled it out of the box and ran out here and shot a video. So we're gonna have to use the old iPhone. But what I was gonna say, a lot of the engine failures that you find are from improper tuning or just tuning in general. This is a reliable car if you leave it stock. It's also a very fun car if you leave it stock. It has plenty of power. The chassis is perfectly balanced for the power it's given. It's a fun car to drive. And if you're looking for a car to just get out of the box and have fun with and enjoy, this is the car. It's excellent. Certain cars you need to buy and start immediately doing stuff to them to make them fun. This is not that case. It's very fun right out of the box. But like anything, it's just how you're going to take care of your car. So regardless of what the build quality is, you still need to take care of your car. You need to wash it, you need to change the oil on time or ahead of time. You need to be doing all the right things. Even just getting out of these seats with care as opposed to hauling your fat ass right over the bolsters. Like take a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra care, and that's gonna go a long way in the life of your car. When I got rid of my Civic Si, that thing was just in perfect shape. I mean, it was showroom shape. The seats were not worn. The it's not Alcantara, but you know what I'm talking about, the suede stuff in the Si wasn't worn in areas. I was always made sure I even washed my hands so the wheel didn't get gunked up. Small things like that, if you're doing that with your car, regardless if it's a Honda, which has an excellent reputation with build quality and reliability, or if you're driving a Ford that doesn't have that same reputation, it's going to come down to the user a lot of the times, and that's the best advice that I can give you. Take care of your car, do the right things, spend a little extra money for maintenance and things like that, and just get it done correctly. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you do like the video, just hit the button that gives me the thumbs up. If you hated the video, do the same thing, thumbs up. I will be posting a bunch of videos this coming week. I'm going to be shooting videos this whole weekend. Might even be going to the car meet tomorrow night. I'm not too sure. But thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Fico contente só de ver ela passar. Oba, lá vem ela. Estou de olho nela.